Hi, this is John from VJ Books, and we're talking books. One of my best friends has just returned to the book world. His name's Phil Mercer. Phil's been gone for almost a decade, while his creator, Jack Brul, was out on an adventure with Clive Cussler, writing the Oregon Files. Now Jack's back, and so's Phil Mercer, and I'm glad they are, because Mercer's one of my favorite characters in adventure literature. Phil's a mining engineer that gets into trouble, slides by and scrapes, and saves the world in the process. Jack's latest book is called Lightning Stones. I'd like to share some of it with you today. This is from the flyleaf. What was Amelia Earhart carrying on her final flight? The adventure begins 2,000 feet beneath the surface of the earth. Philip Mercer, a preeminent geologist with a taste for international intrigue and danger, rides in an elevator 2,000 feet into the earth at the Leister Deep Mine in Minnesota. Mercer is there to visit an old friend and mentor, Abe Jacobs, who is leading a research team to the deepest section of the mine for a groundbreaking study on climate change. But as Mercer approaches, he's stunned to hear automatic gunfire in the massive underground chambers. By the time he finds his way to them, Abe Jacobs and his entire research team have been brutally attacked, and Mercer is left seeking not only answers, but revenge. Mercer imminently retraces Jacobs' tracks, searching for clues to the secret project on which the distinguished scientist was working. Staying one step ahead of a highly trained team of assassins, Mercer follows a trail that leads them from a harrowing close call in the Midwest to a nail-biting showdown in the rugged mountains of Afghanistan, to a remote island in the middle of the Pacific. At stake is an extraordinary scientific discovery that could irrevocably alter the planet, centered on a cache of rare crystals called lightning stones, rumored to have been aboard Amelia Earhart's plane when it vanished on July 2nd, 1937. With his trademark combination of intellectual swagger, riveting action, and cutting-edge science, internationally best-selling author Jack Brul has crafted a superbly entertaining novel that will thrill his fans. And now from the prologue. Papua New Guinea, July 1st, 1937. Here she lay, in a tumble-down hotel on the edge of a jungle at the far end of the world. The knocks came soft and timid. "Who is it?" she called, her voice husky with the sleep she so desperately craved. "Miss Earhart?" a man asked tentatively. Married to publishing magnate George Putnam for the last 6 years, she resigned herself to the fact that she would forever be known as Amelia Earhart, America's flying darling. Yes, from her tone, she was clearly irked. "Bert Hoover sent you a telegram and said I need to see you. I'm Mike Dillman." It took a few seconds to place the names. She'd received dozens of telegrams upon her arrival from Australia, mostly from George, but there were others as well, fans wishing her well. The cable the stranger just mentioned had taken her by surprise. "Give me a moment," Amelia said, and slid out of bed. She grabbed up her robe, a thin, diaphanous garment that weighed but a few ounces and was one of the few feminine conceits during the circumnavigation. She slipped it over her shoulders and looked to see her reflection in a small mirror by the silvery moonlight filtering through the hotel's room's only window. She didn't think she looked much like America's flying darling just then, but there was little she could do about it. She opened the teak door, a relic savaged off an old steamer with slats on the bottom that allowed tropical air to circulate throughout her room. Just enough light from the downstairs lounge reached the hallway for Amelia to see Mike Dillman. Looked like he'd just crawled out of the grave. His hair was lank and plastered to his sunken-cheeked skull. His eyes were nestled deeply in dark, bruised sockets, and while he was probably past 50, his chin sagged like that of a man twice that age. She couldn't fathom a circumstance where this man and Bert Hoover traveled in the same circles. And yet Bert had vouched for his cadaverous stranger and had asked that she perform a favor for them both. It's a great story. You're going to love it. Jack de Brul, The Lightning Stones. Thanks, Jack. I'm John from BJ Books, and we're talking books.